Sometimes there are warning signs.
They are posting pictures of themselves with weapons. They are bringing weapons to school and showing it to their friends.
Things to look for if you know how.
They're talking to their friends about wanting to either bomb the school or shoot up the school.
The U.S. Secret Service's National Threat Assessment Center educates teachers and police officers on how to detect those red flags.
We want to make sure that the public and specifically school communities have the information that they need to know how to identify a student who might be exhibiting concerning behavior.
The chief of the center, Dr. Lena Alathari, says they analyze targeted violence in all forms, shootings in schools to nightclubs. They share those findings in an annual report and at training sessions nationwide, like this one in Naperville.
These students that target schools or plan to carry out an attack against a school engage in concerning behavior that elicited concern in those around them. And they also, majority of them, communicated their intention to carry out an attack.
So if school shooters are posting their plans ahead of time, does anyone see them or are they being ignored?
They wait to see if a student says something. And then they'll look at the threat and they're like, oh, he's just messing around. And they make the determination. That's why I said we must, on any threat, compare it to Parkland.
Rich Wistocki is a retired Naperville computer crimes detective. Now he travels the country training school leaders how to investigate cyber school threats. He says educators have several options. Kids can download the Stop It app, which is a way to anonymously report suspicious behavior to school leaders. Or schools can use a software program like Lightspeed Systems, which monitors what kids are searching online.
If it's self-harm, cyberbullying, sexting, sextortion, drugs, anything like that, an alert will pop up. A real person reads that and goes to the phone tree of the school and reports it to them.
As you may have guessed, many schools opt not to use a software monitoring program. For some, Wistocki says, it comes down to money, while others have a different reason.
Here's one of the things that I've learned from working with some of these companies. The school board has attorney firms that may or may not have told them, hey, you get this alert system, don't turn it on, because if we don't know the information, we can't be liable for it.
When a threat does come in, how prepared are schools to investigate it? In August 2019, Illinois lawmakers passed a bill amending the School Safety Drill Act, making it mandatory for all districts to have threat assessment plans and teams in place. But that was never enforced until now. Per law, at the start of this school year, each district's assessment team should be in place and include mental health professionals and police officers.
That's historically supposed to be a cush job, but it is far from that.
Wistocki is talking about school resource officers, or SROs, who play a vital role on threat assessment teams. School resource officers in Illinois must go through a 40-hour class and be certified through the state. Wistocki's trained thousands of SROs on what to do when a school threat arises.
We do 4 search warrants. We do a search warrant on their house for weapons. We do a search warrant on their home computer that they game on. We search their cell phones and we search their social media to see who they're talking to and for what.
Typically, the first line of defense when a threat occurs is the SRO.
When there's a tragedy within the country, they seem to spike quite largely.
Many districts have assigned SROs to high schools, roaming SROs at elementary and middle school campuses. And after so many tragedies, they are trained to investigate the smallest of threats. School resource officers suggest parents talk to your kids about not kidding around online.
Because anything that is said on social media or anything that we hear, we're going to investigate fully, and that student could be criminally charged, and we don't want to see that happen.
While school resource officers play an important role in handling school threats, Illinois schools are not required to have one. Elizabeth Matthews, Fox 32, Chicago.